Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of the Some Assemblage Required Advent Calendar unboxing. It is also Woodgrain Winter, so I'm going to be using some wood grain today. And it is Mixed Media Mayhem, and we have a lift that we are doing of Kathy over at Scrappy Kathy, and I'll put her YouTube channel down below for you as well, and this is our inspiration piece. But right now I am going to go ahead and open day 13 of the Some Assemblage Required Advent Calendar and see what we've got here, and then I'm going to step away, pull out some supplies, and make a layout using this. So here we go. Let's see what we have. Day 13. Ooh, we have a title. Looks like it says Bookmarked, and it is cracked, but I don't worry about that. It doesn't happen very often. Actually, I think this is probably the first, maybe the second time in many years that I've gotten something cracked from MK. So when you put it on your paper, you just stick it back together on the paper. Sometimes that happens with these the delicate pieces, and that could have very well been my fault, because I do have them stacked in this container, and I have rifled through because I had, as you can see, some other things in the back here, and I had some other things tucked in there, and so I rifled through, so it could very well be my own fault. But it says Bookmarked. It is acrylic, and it is black with, is that black? It's really hard to tell if it's black or if it's really, really dark brown. I'm looking against my sweatshirt, which is black, but also it's very hard to see with the shadows when I hold it up close to the camera. So let me see if I can zoom in just a bit here so you can get a better idea of what it says. So there it is. Super cute. I can't wait to use that. So I'll be right back and pull the stuff to create a layout. Okay, so I have pulled out the stencil. It is, I believe, called Tile Mania. It's from the Crafters Workshop, and it is a 12 by 12, which I love. I love 12 by 12 stencils. Make it so easy to create all over your page if you want to. I am going to use 3 small photos. These are a series of books that have been on my favorite list for many years, actually, and it's now a TV series on, I think, Apple TV. So it has renewed my love for these books. These are actually some of my favorite books of all time. And I don't normally read, well, it's kind of like a little bit sci-fi, a little bit futuristic, dystopian type of a series. But I read it, I don't know, at least 6, 7 years ago. Maybe even more. It's by Hugh Howey. It's called the Silo series, and it's fantastic. And I have always said that I liked this series to my husband, and when it started playing on Apple TV, I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna watch this. And it's just started season 2, so we've already watched season 1, and he has been really enjoying it as well. And so my local library never used to have these available on audio, and they do now. Actually, they didn't have them either in any format. They were not a series they carried, and so they do now, probably thanks to the series being so popular now. But I was really happy to find that out, because I was able to just check them out on a digital download, or an audio download, an audiobook. And my husband and I were listening to the first one on our trip to Idaho this last time. So we listened to the first one. I think we had like 20 minutes left by the time we returned home. So that night we sat in our we cozied up in bed and listened to the last of it before we watched the next episode in the series. So I am currently reading the second one, which is the blue one in the middle, called Shift. And I've already read Dust many years ago, but I'm looking forward to reading it again. So anyway, I had already started listening to the first one called Wool, and I had only like 40 minutes left when we decided to start listening to it on our trip. And so I listened to the whole thing again, but I never told my husband that I had already listened to it. So I kind of just bookmarked my place and thought, well, if we don't ever get through it, I know exactly where to come back to. But we did get all the way through it. So yeah, so I am putting this bookmarked acrylic piece as my title because, well, first of all, I bookmarked where we were at, so that's pretty obvious, like a very literal translation. But this one is definitely bookmarked or flagged as one of my favorite book series. Well, actually, it is my favorite book series of all time. Yeah, so it is definitely flagged as a great series. So I am using the bookmark title for this today. So I did use a bunch of stamp sets from Aall and Create. The large one is number 371. And then the two smaller ones are number 1179, which has the circle in it. And then the one in the bottom left is number 1182. So I will put links down below for those if I can find them at the places that I normally shop at. But those are the numbers for which ones they are. And I think they look great. If you follow the series, they're very, I don't know, they're very like perfect for this. And then I also used the grid stamp from Tailored Expressions, and I don't know if that's available anymore either, but I'll go ahead and look, and if it is, I'll put a link for it down below for you. So today is also Mixed Media Mayhem, and I am obviously doing some mixed media and scrap lifting Scrappy Kathy, and her layout in the upper right hand corner there has a some ink blending with through a stencil in the background, the yellow portion. So I did the blue, and then I don't think she did any of like the orange portion that I'm doing, but she's got a lot of stamping around her photo. She's got one photo in the center. I've got three, but I've got them all clustered up as though they are one. And then I've got my embellishment areas around them, just like she does. And I am really liking the way it's coming together so far. I'm also using a couple of acrylic pieces from MK's shop that are book related, and so they're really cool because they're like they're printed acrylic, and I think they look fantastic. So I thought they were perfect for what I'm documenting today. And then I'm going to use some flowers. I believe these are from the Spectrum Sherbet collection. It gives me a variety of color. I'm going to pull out some blue and yellowy and orange, and I think that's going to look really good just to play off of the colors that I've got going on so far. While I do that, I want to remind you there are a bunch of people playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. The link is down below so that you can go and check that out and get some inspiration as well, based off of the same piece of Scrappy Kathy's that we're scrap lifting. And then I do want to also mention, I don't show you, but at the very end I do a blue stitched line all the way around the layout, and I actually do it on my sewing machine, which doesn't have a very good camera access over there, so you don't get to see that, but in the close-ups you will see a stitched blue line all the way around the outside of the layout. You're also going to see some journaling, which I do off camera, but I pretty much have told you what I am documenting already, so there's nothing really new and exciting in the journaling. But yeah, I'm just playing with the flowers and figuring out where I want everything. I am at a crop while I'm doing this, so sometimes, yeah, I might be pausing to say something to somebody or look at something that somebody is showing me. I try to remove all of those dead spots in the video, but sometimes I don't get them all removed, or they're so small that I might miss it. So anyway, just using some liquid glue to adhere my pieces down. I forgot that I hadn't put my photo down completely before I started adhering everything else. So I'm going to go back and get my photos placed. It is also Woodgrain in Winter, so I definitely have some Woodgrain going on that I have matted my photos on. Those are both Woodgrain. That dark one, it's a little hard to tell on camera, but it's a very, very dark Woodgrain. So I've got that going on, and I think that looks cool. Different ways to use Woodgrain. It is winter, and these were this whole story happened just a couple of weeks ago, where we took our trip to Idaho. So I'm calling that winter. I hope that suffices, even though there's like no wintry look in the photos. The photos did happen during winter, so yeah. Technically, I guess it counts. Anyway, yeah, I'm liking the way this is coming together. I see my title's a little bit crooked there, but I think I do end up fixing that before it is all said and done. And I think that just happened because the piece was broken, and then I had to put it back together, and I just didn't align it correctly. It's not like that in real life. Like if yours is one whole piece, it won't be like that. Okay, so there is also a playlist for Woodgrain in Winter down below, and don't forget to go check out what MK is doing over on her channel. That is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have questions or comments, as always, leave those down below. I do read them all, and I will get back to you at some point. It just takes me a little bit of time. Oh, I did add a little bit of splatter as well. My splatter is some Dina Wakley in Lapis and Night, which is Navy. That is it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another one. Bye-bye.